I used to be the chairman of the all-party group against human trafficking, and what we found is that large groups of vulnerable people, especially Roma, were being brought in from by evil gangs, brought into this country to beg, to do benefit fraud and to do crime. And they were being controlled by these horrible people and living in appalling conditions. Now, I guess that this operation is similar to one they operated a few years ago called Operation Gold, to try and get at these gangs, not to get at the victims, but to stop them being abused by these gangs.
Is Peter Bone right? Is it all above board?
Obviously, there is going to be probably an element of that. I'm not saying that there isn't. But, you know, all I can see here is a stick. I can't see any carrot. You're never going to help people by criminalising them.
Well, no, I don't think that's what's going to happen. What's going to happen? The victims will be looked after properly.
They don't sound like they're being looked after.
No,
they're told to leave the UK. It doesn't sound like they've got their best interests at heart, does it?
What happens is the police are very good at looking after victims, and these are clearly going to be victims of human trafficking. What they want to do is get evidence from them to get after the gangs. I mean, these are the top criminal gangs in Europe who find they get more money out of traffic.
They're not being looked after. They're being sent on a plane from Stansted Airport that afternoon.
Well, I'm not sure that's quite right, because certainly in the past what has happened, they've been put into safe houses, and you're going to find that these aren't just adults, these are going to be whole families that have got to be looked after. And one of the problems is you can't just send them straight back, because they'll be re-trafficked.
You're stereotyping the situation, saying that all Roma that come here from Eastern Europe are being trafficked here. I know people who have come here from Romania who are trained in law, they're engineers, they're very well-educated people. You know, they haven't come here through trafficking.
I mean, I shouldn't, if I've given that impression, that's totally wrong. What I'm about is destroying the gangs that are attacking vulnerable people, not at all people you're talking about. Now, I'm not saying...
But every immigrant isn't out there begging.
No.
And every beggar out there isn't part of an illegal gang.
But
what about the ones that are, Joseph Jones? I mean, do you understand why illegal Roma who are not meant to be here, are sleeping rough and indeed begging, need to be removed? Do you support that?
First of all, they're probably not illegal because they're allowed to come here. They're allowed to come here.
But they overstay their visa?
EU. They're part of the EU. They're allowed to come here.
What about the ones that aren't?
And in next year, they'll be allowed to come here and get jobs. That's the problem. People come here, they can't get a visa to get a job, and then they end up begging. What people should be doing is putting in place positive initiatives to help homeless people who haven't got any money.